Hey, this is Lucky Yates.
Hey there, this is Jimmy Simpson.
Hello, this is Brad Sherwood.
Hi, this is Claire Coffey.
This is Andy Daly. Hey there, this is Kevin Durant.
Hi, I'm Chris Parnell.
Hey, this is TJ Sainz.
Hey y'all, this is David Hoffman.
You are listening to Next Level Radio. Have fun.
It's time for the Showcast. And now, here they are, those pop culture junkies and your hosts, Ben Beck, Adam Gorey, and Steve Richards.
Hello and welcome into this episode of the Showcast here on the Next Level Radio Podcast Network. I am Adam Gorey. Steve Richards is with me today. Before we bring on our guests, I'll just remind you to check out nextlevelradioonline.com for the other podcasts, facebook.com/nextlevelradioonline, and Twitter is at NXTLevelRadio. But that's really it. I'm not going to waste too much time. You know our links, you know our pages. So here we are going to talk to one of the former contestants from Fox's show Kicking and Screaming, which is a reality competition show that kind of pairs up an everyday person with a survivalist, as they say, to see who can last the longest. And today we are joined by former contestant Angelica Bridges. Angelica, how you doing?
I'm good, thanks.
So I guess we'll start off. You lasted a few weeks into it at least. You can't say you brought home the big win, but at least you made it through a few weeks and survived and got the experience and I guess just being there, especially the first few days, I gotta imagine was kind of crazy. What was it like, especially the first few days with all those different personalities? You got chess players, you got your you were your survivalist was like a ninja. What was it like with all those different people there?
Oh my gosh, it was quite overwhelming the first few days. I mean, you're dealing with, getting, basically just put out in the jungle, with no means of where you're going to get your next meal. All these different personalities, because not only, are we dealing with, I'm dealing with 9 other novices, unlike myself, but I'm dealing with 10 people that are, survivalists and all their personalities too. So
yeah,
it was a trip. And so, and you've got like bugs and sticking on the ground and my dog was like going, there's lots of bugs. He's trying to bark. Hold on. Let me just, no barking, little one. Okay. So it was overwhelming, but, I don't even know where to start. I mean, there was just, I could talk an hour about each thing, just kind of looking at where we were going to lay down for the night, and we're kind of like, wait, what? We don't have like cots, or we don't have like a tent, or we don't have any, we have a blanket. It was basically the shirts and the clothing off our backs that we came with. And I think even though we kind of knew, what we were getting into, we really didn't once we got out in the jungle. It was a whole different animal. Yeah,
I got to imagine it's one of those things like you imagine all these different things in your head going into it, and then it still can never prepare you for what you actually end up going through.
Oh yeah, never. It could. I could never be prepared, and like, oh gosh, I don't know. I look back now and I think, oh my gosh, it was such an amazing experience. But what are some of the things that I would have done to prepare more, knowing kind of what exactly we were getting into? And I would have probably tried to start starving myself a week or two before so I could get used to not eating anything.
Would you, knowing all that you do now, would you go back and do something like this again? Having gone through it?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. And people might think I'm crazy, but, when you're put in that situation of like fight or flight and the environmental conditions and the people and the mental strategy of it all and the physical strategy, once you get out, like I wasn't ready to go, even though, I made it we were like the third team to go. I believe, yeah, we're the third team to get eliminated.
Yeah.
I wasn't ready. I wasn't ready. I just gotten used to sleeping on the ground, and my stomach shrunk, so I wasn't as hungry without, food every day. And I was just like, no, this is, I'm getting used to it. You can't take me out now. Like, I want to go forward. So I would definitely do it again in a heartbeat. It's just something that you can go look back on and go, you know what? That was kick-ass. And I love, getting myself out of my element and comfort of Beverly Hills and getting thrown into that. And it kind of gives you like, wow, I'm proud of myself. Like, I did something that I'd never done before and that I said I would never do before, by the way. I said I would never be put in a situation like that. So yeah, it's kind of kick-ass, and it makes me want to do more.
That makes me curious. And you said you would never do something like. What changed your mind, and what got you actually on the show?
Oh gosh, well, I had gone in and seen the casting director for another show that they were doing, and I guess when I went in for that show, they just thought, oh, she would be great for kicking and screaming. And then they pretty much called me and said, yeah, you came in for this show, but we really want you to do this travel survival show. And I was like, what? No. I go, you don't understand. I can't even go to the grocery store without, doing my hair and makeup. And there's no way, I said. I don't, I'm so fair. And if I'm out in the sun for like more than an hour, especially in a jungle, I'm going to be like a lobster. And I just went on and told them literally 50 things why I couldn't do the show and why I wouldn't be good for it. And then at the end of that, the casting director said, that's why we want you to do this show.
Yeah, exactly.
I was like, but no. I couldn't understand. But I'm like, no, but I'm not perfect. Or she's like, oh, yes, you are. So that's how it all came down, is that I was actually going to do another one of their shows. And then they just said, oh, no, we want you for the other one. So, they talked me into it, and the rest is history. And it was just, it was amazing.
That's awesome. How did you end up getting along with your survivalist? I hope I'm pronouncing his name right. Hakeem, is it Isler?
Yeah, it's Hakeem. Yeah. At first I wasn't sure because, I assumed by looking at all the other people getting paired up on that beach that day when we kind of landed in the jungle and seeing how everyone was completely opposite of each other, I thought, oh my gosh, they've put me with someone that it's going to be like nails on a chalkboard probably, and I'm going to be just so miserable, just having to be with this person. I can imagine it's going to be a nightmare. And then, wow, it was not a nightmare. He turned out to be probably, I would say maybe one of the most similar of the teams, like probably one of the top two most similar of the pairings, just in the whole thing that he likes to meditate and I like to meditate. And, I didn't know much about the ninja stuff, which, I kind of learned along the way, but we're actually more alike than not alike, and we got along great, and, we could talk through things, we never fought, there was never any weird or crazy moments, and I know that may be hard to believe, but we just really gelled very well together, which is a miracle out there.
Yeah, and I gotta imagine even for him, as the survivalist, being in a deserted island or jungle is probably not, still his really cup of tea. I mean, you had like a Cub Scout leader or whatever who might be a little more familiar, and a couple other people, but even as a with the karate and jiu-jitsu and the ninja aspect of it, that's probably still a little bit out of his comfort zone even, I gotta think.
You would be surprised. Okay, this guy did two like, I just call it seasons of Naked and Afraid. Okay. Does that tell you anything? Where they put, yeah. Oh, yeah. Okay, so he is like the frickin' Jedi Master being put out somewhere, and this time he got to wear clothes in the jungle. When he did those two shows, he didn't have clothes on. So not only, did he not have clothes on, and obviously you blur out the parts on him, but he had to be comfortable walking around naked, in front of a crew, and then try to find food. And he told me he ate a snake once, and then there was a bird that had died, so then he ate the carcass of the bird. And that's pretty much all he had for like a month, I think, was the snake and the bird during one season. So I think, him of all people, he was pretty much in his element. A lot more than I was, that's for sure.
Yeah.
I definitely, I was like, how, I know, this show is crazy, but he did come from, 2 seasons of that, so I'm sure that helped him prepare for kicking and screaming.
Yeah, he was less used to wearing clothes than he was to being in the wilderness.
Right.
Well, do you have any, I know that, we're down to a couple groups here. Do you have any rooting interest in those who are left?
Do I have any interest in what?
Do you have like a rooting interest? Like, do you have anybody you're cheering for to win?
Oh my gosh. Yeah, I love, this is what's so crazy about it. You think that there'd be more hatred because of the jungle situations and the people just putting so many different people in there together and trying to see if we all get along. I really liked, especially all the girls. I loved all the girls. I got along with them great, and we definitely bonded. So now this is really hard for me because I love Juliana and I love Clarice and I love Elaine and Nat is awesome. So it's really hard for me. I have 2 contestants are coming next week to Beverly Hills and staying with me for a few days. That's
cool.
How close we are. So it's like, we have these bonds that are going to go on forever after doing this show. Who knew? So it's really hard for me to pick someone right now. It's going to be, all I can say is it's really going to come down to someone making a simple mistake probably because they are all such strong teams left. And I know if Hakeem and I were still there, we would be getting our butt kicked. So those are really strong teams left, and I cannot wait to see who, finishes.
Well, last question on the show at least. What would you say was either I'm sure you get asked this a lot, what would be the either most difficult part about when you were there, or you can even say the grossest part about when you were there?
Oh my gosh, the fact that I didn't take a bath or a shower for 2 weeks. I've never done that in my life, ever. The most I'd ever gone was maybe, like a day and a half. So 2 weeks, I can imagine I must have smelled like, oh God, I must have smelled disgusting. That was probably the hardest, grossest. And then just having, I didn't eat anything gross, but just watching, like Natalie eat a scorpion and Max eat a worm. And then tonight I see that they pull grubs on the table. Oh my God. I would be puking before I even put it in my mouth. So thank God I'm not on there. I would lose this challenge tonight. I would not last a minute. So I would say definitely watching other people eat disgusting things and then not, being able to take a shower and my pits smelling like, oh God, like 3-year-old Munster cheese.
Painting a good picture there. Painting a great picture.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, but the good thing is that we all smelled like that.
So.
Yeah, right. Well, obviously, we're here to talk about kicking and screaming and to hear how bad you smelled after 2 weeks. But we are burying the lead just a little bit because you were a part of Baywatch. So people, obviously recognize you from being a part of Baywatch. So, I guess just quickly, or not, maybe not even quickly, we have time, but go into kind of what that experience was like and and everything now. Especially now, it's kind of revived with the movie coming. So what was that about?
Yeah, I mean, it was one of the most a few years of my life, so to speak, because once, you know, I actually did the show, then we came back and did a movie for Fox, and then it just seemed, and then once your season aired, then like a year later it would air in 140 countries, and then you could go to Europe and all over the world and do press like a year later, and then you did the movie, and then that. So it just seemed like it went on and on and on, which was, you know, amazing. It was one of the most amazing experiences of my life. Oh my God, I wouldn't trade it for anything. Oh, and this weekend, all the cast is getting together. We've got all the former castmates from the series getting together with The Rock and Zac Efron.
That's awesome.
And all the new castmates from the movie. And we have a big red carpet down at LA Live, and we have like the Baywatch, it's called the Baywatch slow motion run. And it's not a marathon, it's a slow motion run. And then, you know, I guess, you know, it's open to the public, so we're going to get a lot of people down there and to participate in this event. And then just get the cast, the old cast and the new cast together. It's going to be awesome. And then, yeah, and then the movie, obviously, I think it debuts on May 20th, so I'll be going to that premiere too. So I'm really supportive of it. I think it's awesome to keep this whole institution alive, you know?
Yeah, it's
the
awesome.
more the merrier.
Yeah, that's great. I mean, it sounds like you're at least a little bit involved with the old cast and things like that. Is there anything that they asked you to do with the movie? I haven't done too much research into the movie. I don't even know. You could be in it and I wouldn't know. But have they asked you to do what kind of involvement you have with the movie? It sounds like you're excited for it, but
yeah, I'm excited for it. And you know, as the creator of Baywatch originally, and who wrote most of the episodes for the whole you know, life of when it was a TV series, Michael Burke is one of my best friends. And,
that's great.
You know, he's one of the three creators of the show and is producing the movie that's coming out now, and, you know, has total input in it. But as he put it, they need new blood. They needed the new, whole new, they needed to resurrect it. And, I believe David Hasselhoff and Pam Anderson are the only two people that have like a cameo in the upcoming film.
Sure.
And then all new cast. Kind of give it that whole blockbuster screen thing and keep the two things separate. But yeah, I'm so supportive of it, and you know, they want to include us on all the press and all the activities going forward before it airs. In television, before it comes out in theaters in May. So that's kind of awesome that they're, you know, keeping us in the loop, and we get to go to all of the functions and the events like this Saturday. So it's exciting.
Yeah, it's awesome. I
mean,
mean,
who knows? Maybe they'll do a second Baywatch movie, and then they'll bring back some of the, you know, regular cast members. That would be really great.
Now you're talking.
if I know anything about Hollywood, I would say that is a distinct possibility.
Yes, it is. It is.
Well, before we let you go, we talked, you know, about some past and present stuff. I want to talk a little bit real quick, let us know what you have coming up. I saw, at least IMDb wise, and I don't know how accurate that usually is, but you have a couple things coming up. One's The Letter Red, and the other is The Tale of Two Faces.
Yes, I have two films that are coming out. I believe The Letter Red is supposed to be coming out in September, and The Tale of Two Faces is coming out in the fall, a little bit after that, maybe October, November. And they're both very much like thriller, horror kind of films, which is cool because I've never really done anything like that before until this last year of being in those two films. And then I'm going to be headlining a burlesque show, which I had previously headlined a show at the Luxor Hotel in Las Vegas, where I was the singer and the host. It was called a fantasy show at the Luxor. And now I just signed a contract to headline another show in Las Vegas. And then I'll be doing a bit at their hotel in Reno over the summer as well, but at Harrah's. And
cool.
It's called Eye Candy Burlesque.
Awesome. Yeah, we'll
Good for you.
definitely
So
have to
that's
have
kind of
people
exciting.
keep an eye out for
Yeah.
that. And well, I mean, if anyone wants to
absolutely.
follow you, you're on Twitter and Instagram. I saw at Angelica Bridges, so that's easy to remember. So I guess I'm
Exactly.
sure you'll
Yes.
have some more information on there on the socials.
Yeah, absolutely. I would keep everyone, abreast, I guess I could say, keeping Baywatch abreast of all my upcoming ventures.
That's well done.
And yeah, if anyone's in LA this weekend, come to the Baywatch slow motion run.
That's awesome.
10 a.m. at LA Live in downtown, and meet all the cast from both seasons, from the movie and from the television series. And then tonight, another awesome episode of Kicking and Screaming.
Heck yeah.
9 p.m. Pacific, and then this is second to last episode. So next week is the big final to see who wins. So pretty exciting. 2 weeks left for Kicking and Screaming.
Yeah, absolutely. And like you said, keep an eye on your Twitter and Instagram. We'll put links in the podcast description for anyone interested. And again, Kicking and Screaming, like you said,
thank you.
Thursdays 9/8 Central on Fox. Catch the finale next Thursday. I think that's the 27th. So, Angelica, we really appreciate you coming on and spending a little bit of time with us.
Thank you so much, guys. I had a ball, and hopefully I'll get to chat with you guys again.
Yeah, absolutely. We look forward to it. So, everybody, thank you very much for listening to the showcast. Again, go to nextlevelradioonline.com for the other podcasts, and we will catch you next time.